This is how you can have a luxurious New Year's Eve holiday on a budget and debt-free.
We are spending New Year's Eve in Sydney, one of the most expensive cities in the world, watching fireworks from a 500 ticket boat, and we barely felt it in our pockets. And no, we are not rich. We are pretty average, really.
And now we're going to show you how you can enjoy pure luxury without breaking the bank with a 7-step guide. And keep tuned because number 3 is definitely the most important, and step 6 will make sure you're set for your next luxurious holiday. Sydney is amazing. It becomes even more special in the last week of the year. It has beautiful celebrations and an infinity of things to do. The only downside is very expensive.
But don't worry, we are giving you a 7-step guide to have a luxury experience like this without necessarily owing any money to anyone else. So step 1, be real. First of all, even though we all want it, do not plan a $100,000 holiday if it's out of your financial reach. Enjoying luxury on a budget is no magic. It does require planning. If you were hoping for a last-minute luxury holiday without preparation, this isn't the video for you.
Our first goal was to spend the last night of 2023 in Japan. However, we had other trips before that, and it would affect our financial health drastically. So we decided to go somewhere else more affordable since we live in Perth, Australia. We wanted to make it very special and somehow luxurious. However, having an average income like we have, we had to be budget savvy to have a glamorous night without really breaking the bank. And the only way to make it possible was through step 2, which is plan ahead. Have a plan you can actually afford. From choosing the right flight to packing essentials, every decision you make should be budget conscious. Start planning early to make it more achievable.
Our holidays started months and months ago, before our big night. The first thing we did back then was deciding what was the highlight of our trip. We knew that even though we were spending the holidays in the same country, our destination was, again, one of the most expensive in the world, which brings us to the most important step of this video. Step 3, research. Research is the key of all. After having a plan, it's time to compare your options. Certain tools can help you save with accommodations, flight tickets, and even luxurious parties like the one we've got.
For our trip, we used Qantas points to get discounts in our flight tickets and Airbnb to book our stay. Now, it is important to know that accommodation can make or break your budget. So it's important to really take your time on this one. Choosing your right accommodation is much more than just choosing where you're gonna sleep. You're also considering your transportation, your food options, groceries, and everything else around you that could impact your trip. For us, the location we chose had everything to do with the party we chose. You might want to consider things like how to get to your destination from the place you're staying. For example, you may save 10% on your booking, but it's so far away that you will need to either rent a car and cost you a fortune in parking or spend hours in public transport.
On top of that, we also searched for alternative apps that would make our stay in Sydney more affordable. Apps like Eat Club find deals in restaurants around your area, making you pay way cheaper for very good meals.
Yeah, because she eats a lot, so we definitely need one of those. And once your planning is finished, it's time for step 4, execution.
Now, it's time to spend your money wisely. We don't recommend getting into debt for travel. Instead, budget and save over time. What works for us is taking small hits throughout the months until the day of our holidays. That way, when our holidays start, our trip is already paid for. We also put aside a little amount of money for how much we will spend during the trip with food and other activities. So once we have that, you can freely spend your money in your trip.
To do that, it's very simple. We use a spreadsheet on Excel, just as you can see on the screen. And do a weekly budget. If you're a bit more sloppy, don't worry, that's not a problem. It doesn't have to be weekly. You can do it fortnightly or even monthly if you prefer. But the key here is consistent tracking. And stay with us to the end of the video, because on step 6, we will show you how you can actually ensure that your spending is on track.
So starting on step 5, which is a plan B. Plan B means be prepared for changes. Always have a backup plan, whether it's for your accommodation, your activities, or your transportation. Flexibility can save you from unexpected expenses.
Even though we started planning our trip with months and months in advance, we still had a ton of issues with Airbnb. We planned so early that when we booked our stays, our hosts for 3 times and 3 different ones canceled it, saying that it wasn't even supposed to be on the platform yet.
Even when we thought that everything was settled and the booking was guaranteed, our hosts canceled on us literally 1 day before our flight. Our plan B was keep an eye on the platform until the last minute to guarantee the booking would go through. But most importantly, our plan B was really always choosing a platform that covers you in situations like this.
We could have gone for a cheaper option, like a cheaper website, but if something like that happened, like in the last minute, we would be left hanging out to dry with no place to stay or having to spend an absurd amount of money for a last minute hotel. So you may not want to look for a backup accommodation or a backup plan if it's an activity you're going for, but make sure that the platform you choose for your booking covers you in any case of any unexpected changes.
Once it's all ready and set, it's now time to enjoy your trip. But always keep in mind the most important thing so you can guarantee all your next luxurious holidays, which is step 6. Don't lose track.
Keep control of your budget even during your trip. Track your expenses to ensure you're not overspending. It's easy to get carried away, especially in a city like Sydney or any other expensive city you go to.
It doesn't have to be overwhelming or annoying. Of course you can spend your money, especially the one you save it for. Simply write it down, roughly the total, so you have an idea and you can control your expenses during your trip.
For our trip, we use Splitwise, a super easy and free app to control the expenses. It's even better if you're traveling with someone else, like that's our case, because it also splits the cost between 2 or more people. Another free alternative could also be 3 Count.
And that's it. The last step is number 7, have fun. Enjoy the fruits of your planning and saving. Remember, the goal is a stress-free, enjoyable holiday.
We hope our journey inspires you to plan your own budget-friendly luxury adventure. Follow these steps and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve.
If you found our guide helpful, don't forget to like it, subscribe it, and share with your friends. Stay tuned for more smart saving and wise spending tips.
Happy
New
New
Year's
Year, and
see you in the next video.